Yeah, good evening to you. Not the result that England fans wanted, not the result that Paul Merson we were talking about before the game that we expected as well. Look, what's your initial assessment of what you've seen?
Yeah, disappointing, to be 1-0 up with not long left in a semi-final of the World Cup, and sort of backfired. We went defensive, tried to do what it did against Mexico and Norway, and it hasn't worked. We're playing against a better quality of team, better quality of players, attacking players, and we just sat back. And I said to you when we was watching the game, they will get a clear-cut chance to score here, and and they did. So yeah, I imagine how the players are. I'm devastated. You know what I mean? I said in my lifetime about winning the World Cup, and another chance goes by.
Do you think there were mistakes made by Tuchel, who's been praised throughout for certainly what he did at Mexico with 10 men and the defensive unit he showed there? But England were 1-0 up at this point with 11 players on the field. Do you think he deserves maybe a bit of criticism?
Yeah, I don't like giving it out. It's easy afterwards to do that, but Gareth Southgate took a lot of stick for being a very defensive coach, and we've seen this here. Sometimes you've got to counter-attack it. You're 1-0 up. They're putting more and more forwards on Argentina. They got to have a go. So then put another forward on and try and counteract that. And and then they've got it gives them something to think about. When we start putting defenders on, they're putting forwards on. Then we're just going to sit back. Too many quality players in the Argentinian team for them not to make a chance before the end of... McAllister at the post with the header where he should have scored. So, yeah, just disappointing. There's ways of going out, and you've got to go out in a blaze, in a blaze, really, in my opinion.
If it was a case that, obviously, at 1-0, we're seeing Argentina put those forwards on, that perhaps maybe we should have had some sort of threat up top in terms of like Marcus Rashford, who came on, 90-plus minutes, actually came on after the second goal and after a few phases of play, which you were really disappointed about.
Yeah, even before the throw-on, they should have come on, Tony and Rashford. It was only after the second throw-on that they come on. Probably should have come on soon as they scored their goal, because they celebrated for about 5 minutes. It was the longest celebration ever. Yeah. I'm lost for words. I am really lost for words, because, as I say, Gareth took a lot of stick for being a defensive coach, a real defensive, and I thought he'd done well, and this manager's come in and done exactly the same as Gareth done, and, and I don't know what's going to happen. But for me, the Mexico one I get, we've got 10 men, we're going to hang on, we got backs against the wall, but here, we had to throw something different at them, They were just putting forward on after forward, and for me, just real disappointed. Got to learn from it, and now look forward to the Euros.
Say you got to learn from it, but as you mentioned, what happened under Gareth Southgate, often too defensive. Italy in 2021 scored very early, and obviously were protecting the lead for a long period of the time. Does it not feel like maybe perhaps England aren't learning, aren't believing that they can still keep a grasp of the game despite leading the game?
Yeah, no, I could understand it with Gareth. Gareth was a defender, so for the whole of his career he'd have done a lot of defensive training. So naturally, as a defender, that's what happens. So I understood that with Gareth. I didn't get that today with Tuchel. I didn't get that. I didn't think he was that kind of a defensive manager. I thought he would have sort of spun it around, and put the pressure on them. And all it was right, we're going to defend here for, as soon as they did score, we've got a lorry load of defenders on the pitch. And, even said, didn't we? We said they could probably score again before full time here with the 9 minutes of injury time. So, yeah, you know what? It's fine lines as well at the same time. We're 1-0 up in a World Cup game. Thomas Tuchel will go to bed tonight, and he'll lay there, and he'll probably think should have done something different. And we can all sit here. I can sit here now, with 17 minutes to go. I said to you, there's only 17 minutes to go here. We could be in the final, but I did say they'll get one clear-cut chance, and they got that chance.
Yeah, you said that about 30 seconds before they scored, as well. Let's go back to the start. The first half was really gritty. It was almost like a repeat of the game you played on in 1998, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they wanted to do that. They wanted to make it a bit stop-start game. And I said at half-time to you, they had to be patient. You don't want to lose your heads, because it was frustrating. Then they get the goal. It's a very good goal, crossed by Rodgers, and Gordon puts it in. And you just think, that's it then. I just thought I seriously thought that was it, because I didn't see them doing anything to us. I didn't see them hurting us, but because they had to come so far up the pitch because of the way we were playing. But as soon as we started to sit back, they didn't have to go far. You know, they're on a 20, 30-yard mark anyway before they even started. We're kicking the ball away and they're starting again. And it's relentless. This is top draw. You know, we're playing... These are the top 4 seeds in the world of football, the 2 semi-finals. So we're not playing, no disrespect, we're not playing against Mexico, where we can sit there, and we could probably sit there all night and defend against them, but we can't defend against Argentina like that.
And by sitting back, did we invite pressure from a certain Lionel Messi, who actually just grew in the game second half when England sat back, gave him space to do what he did, and he created, both goals, didn't he?
You know, he's up there as the best in the world. He's got to be. I mean, I watched him at one time, you know, he hadn't really touched the ball. He went to go past Bellingham and Bellingham just barged him out of the way, and he gets up and you're sort of thinking, he must be sitting there he must be running away here thinking, it's only a matter of time here, do you know what I mean, before I'm going to retire, you know, because he brushed him out of the way quite easily. Then he gets the ball and he's just so clever. You know, for the first goal, he sucks people in, and then just waits for Anderson, and then he passes the ball, you know. And then the other one, he runs and gets the ball from the touchline, and he sees it straight away. I'm just going to attack, go down the right. He sees that Spencer sort of caught himself, I think, a bit of cramp. Riley's chasing back, waiting for him to go onto his, you know, he knows he's going to check back, and it's the brain of not checking back, going down and chipping that ball. I mean, that was with his right foot, where he hardly ever touches it. So you just got to hold your hands up sometime and go world class, world class.
And look, Merson, Thomas Tuchel was brought in to go that one step further that Gareth Southgate, as we spoke about previously, just couldn't get over the line. What now for Thomas Tuchel? Because he signed that new contract now, extending it through to the Euros. Do England just have to stick by him?
Yeah, you know what were we, number 4 seed or number 3 seed? We weren't 1 or 2, we were 3rd or 4th. We got in the semi-final, that's where we was meant to get. You know, we was meant to get there, and that's where we got. So he's done his job, really, in my opinion. He's got us to where we should be, semi-final marks. Just disappointed 1-0 up, but we'll learn. Now we've got the Euros to come. We got the Euros, but now we've got to go and play in a I would probably have to say one of the most pointless football matches you could ever play in the history of football for 3rd and 4th.
I was going to say, that was my final question. Anybody going to really be interested? Are the players going to be interested from a player's perspective, 3rd, 4th place playoff?
You know what? You're playing for your country, you're playing against France, but you know, you've just lost in the semi-final of the World Cup. You know, when I was growing up, to lose in the FA Cup semi-final was the ultimate. That was the biggest game about at them times. You wanted to play in the Cup final. But the World Cup final, how many people play in the World Cup final? To get beat in the semi-final will be for both teams. It's just a nothing game. There's no need for it.
Yeah, look, I think everybody here at Brighton are pretty much vacated now. The disappointment transcended across the fan zone. Disappointment there from Paul Merson. As Merso said, we go again in 2 years' time.